A woman can have many idols, ranging from Marilyn Monroe, Frida Kahlo, Maya Angelou, Sofia Coppola, hell, even Anna Nicole Smith.
I know nothing about nothing. Oh, yes. Oh.
Although I have some myself, one of my influences growing up was Julie Brown. And you may ask yourself, Julie Brown, downtown Julie Brown, which, yes, I've heard a lot whenever I mention Julie Brown. But no, Julie Brown, who was also MTV at the same time. But she's the creative genius behind Earth Girls Are Easy. Julie Brown isn't exactly a controversial filmmaker, at least not controversial like Sofia Coppola or Lynn Ramsey, but she's a cult throwback and deserves more recognition as a campy personality. She wears many hats as an actor, comedian, writer, director, producer, and singer, and came into the spotlight at MTV at its prime in the 80s. I just want to make a fun little video exploring Julie Brown's career and find out what she's up to today. Julie Brown was born in Van Nuys, California. She's the daughter of Cecilia Jane McCann, and her father was Leonard Francis Brown. Both parents were in the film industry. Her father worked in NBC, where he met her mother. Her family was always in the film industry, her mother being an actress or Spanish voice acting. Her great-grandfather was in Citizen Kane, and other relatives being editors for the pictures back in the day. Her brother's Paul Brown, who's a writer and producer for The X-Files. Julie Brown was a homecoming queen in our high school and considered getting into the film business herself. However, her parents were against it because of the corruption in the business and the fact that everyone was a drug addict in the business, including some of the family members who had substance abuse issues. So she decided to enroll as an anthropology major but hated it, and found her way back to theater by enrolling to the American Conservatory Theater, where she met her collaborator Charlie Coffey. She started out in nightclubs playing her typical LA Valley girl persona.
I saw the boy there right in here. I knew him was near. So I ran down and I said in her good ear, Debbie, why don't you do it? She raised her head, smiled and said, I did it for Johnny. Johnny? Well, like who's Johnny?
And was casted in television shows such as Happy Days and The Jeffersons. Her film debut was in the Clint Eastwood movie Any Which Way You Can, where she was discovered by comedian actress Lily Tomlin. They became friends, and Tomlin casted her in The Incredible Shrinking Woman. In 1984, Julie Brown released her first EP, Goddess in Progress. Much like Weird Al, Julie Brown parodied the Valley Girl archetype in songs like 'Cause I'm a Blonde, and The Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun. Which obviously was made before major school shootings were a part of the norm. This album got radio plays, and eventually she made her second parody album, Trapped in the Body of a White Girl. The album took off and eventually landed her to have her own cable network comedy and music show Just Say Julie in 1989. Her character being the same Valley Girl archetype and often made fun of popular musicians at the time such as Madonna. She shared the same MTV spotlight with downtown Julie Brown at the time, so she was often referred to as Miss Julie Brown. The show had many celebrity guests such as Weird Al, Michael McKean, Gene Simmons, and Elvira. The show officially fell out with no reason, but I can speculate partially due to MTV not hiring real writers. Julie Brown and Coffey had to put the entire show together by themselves. The MTV channel as a whole during this time was just music videos and shows written by kids who just got out of college. They didn't even have executives on the set. Julie says they pretty much could do anything they wanted to during the time, as long as they had the 3 video sets. Julie Brown quoted in this article, "When I released Goddess in Progress, it was because I had been doing stand-up and didn't really like it. Before, I was just in a comedian team with Charlie Coffey called Brown and Coffey in San Francisco. And we did a lot of songs in our act, and I really liked that a lot more. Songs kind of elevate the energy in the room. So I struggled for like half a year to come up with some songs, and then recorded them and start performing them. The songs went over so well in the clubs I was working in that I decided to release the album, and then the songs became cult hits. Some of the songs on the albums got the attention of studio heads at Warner Bros. They called her up, exclaiming the songs were so theatrical, and they asked her if she had any movie ideas. She did, and she pitched Earth Girls Are Easy, in a non-typical studio pitch way. And the way she described it, it was like she acted out the entire movie to the studio heads, which sounds really funny in my head. They bought it on the spot, and voila, If Girls Easy was a production in 1986. However, the director, Julian Temple, was making films that were bombing, and the studio lost hope for the film. They also offered the lead role to Madonna or Molly Ringwald, but they turned it down. It was difficult to get financing for the film because Julian Temple's attachment, but eventually got a French bank to fund the movie, as well as an entertainment group to distribute it. Unfortunately, during post-production of the film, that entertainment group filed for bankruptcy. Julie Brown was supposed to play the lead role, but the film's budget was getting expensive, and the studio needed a bigger name to sell the film. So they got Julie Brown out of the role and casted Gina Davis, and her husband at the time, Jeff Goldblum.
They brought Gina and Jeff Goldblum together. So I kind of had to say yes.
Because I think they were dating,
They
right?
were, and then they got married, yeah. They were dating during this movie. It was weird.
No.
Because they were making out all
Ew,
the time. I know.
No.
Should I have not said that?
Julie Brown originally had a gay best friend character in the film, but rewrote the character to fit her Valley Girl persona. The other aliens are Jim Carrey in his first acting debut, and Damon Williams, who went on to be a comedic actor on SNL. Overall, the film didn't do great in the box office, but earned a cult following, even influenced the Britney Spears music video Pretty Girls. Brown and her creative partner Charlie Kaufman went on to do their pilot show, The Julie Show, for NBC, a comedy about Julie Robbins, played by Brown, going great lengths to land an interview with a teen idol in hopes of getting hired as a tabloid TV celebrity journalist. They also pitched it to CBS, but the show was ultimately canceled due to failing to chart an audience. In 1991, Julie Brown co-starred with writer and director Bob Goldthwait in Shakes the Clown. The film also has early appearances of famous comedians such as Adam Sandler, Tom Kenny, Blake Clark, and Robin Williams. The film is essentially a Cindy Sherman-looking movie, but with alcoholic clowns in LA. Overall, depressing but fun, and was not a financial success, and in my opinion, lacks a cult following that it deserves. Martin Scorsese even said it's the Citizen Kane of alcoholic clown movies. In the same year, Brown also wrote and starred in the Showtime parody film Medusa, playing as a dysfunctional Madonna.
The prettiest girl in the mirror is me. But am I still pretty when there's no one to see? Me? I wish upon a lucky star to put a happy face on my pain, 'cause it hurts to be so pretty and so alone in the rain. And I really haven't changed that much at all. I'm still a frightened little girl lost in a rainstorm. Ow! Get out! You're fired!
Which isn't too far from the truth.
That's the thing about COVID-19. It doesn't care about how rich you are, how famous you are, how funny you are, how smart you are.
Julie Brown continued to do television shows such as The Edge in 1992, and then got a gig in a Showtime TV movie, National Lampoon's Attack of the 5'2" Woman in 1994, where Brown parodies the Tonya Harding incident and the John and Lorena Bobbitt incident. Then in 1995, she appeared in Clueless as the coach, and then went on to write for the Clueless TV show and reprised her role as the coach in 1996. Following that, she did a voiceover work for a lot of cartoons. And I'm not sure if anyone knows this, but she's the woman that also wrote Camp Rock, along with a few other writers attached. Later on, she went on to write her sitcom show, Melissa and Joey, in 2011. Overall, Julie Brown's a really creative performer, but in my opinion, got screwed over from the get-go. Yes, she went on to be featured in some really great movies and TV shows, a lot of failed TV shows, but I feel like she could have had bigger success if she had access to a great writing team when she worked at MTV. She's a remarkable figure for comedic singers and parody performers. And as of late, she has a YouTube and Twitter where she occasionally posts political and COVID parodies.
Hi, this is Medusa. I'm in my bathtub in my panic room, probably just like you. COVID-19 doesn't care how old you are, or how pretty you are, or how rich you are, or how scared you are of snakes, or how much you are annoyed by Kelly Ripa.
As of right now, she planned on reviving her new series with her Medusa character in a crowdfunded web series, but it was pushed back due to COVID. When she posts Indiegogo, I'll be sure to leave it in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great year, and I'll see you in the next video.